You guys, today we're about to break down a sexy drill type beat I made for WOLFACEJOEYY because he just dropped his new album called Cupid, and I've been streaming some songs of the album and man, it sounds fire for real. WOLFACEJOEYY is definitely one of the greatest sexy drill artists that I know. This beat was made using my RnB MULTIKit that you can cop on my website. The link will be in the description, and I'm also gonna drop a new drum kit for summer. Dark R&B, trap R&B, sexy drill, and all those styles. So yeah, summer drum kit, 4th of August. Stay tuned for this, especially because the first 5 people to get my kit will be able to get it for free, 100% off, and man, that's a great offer I can give you. And for those who are not going to be able to get it directly, you can still get a promotion code which will appear on the screen right now. This is a promotion code to get minus 30% off the kit. So yeah, stay tuned for this and let's get to the breakdown. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna put is a Rhodes from Keyscape, and we're using the preset LA Custom Suitcase 80s. Really nice Rhodes, really nice 80s piano, you know, it sounds really nice and retro. And for the chord progression, we're in D sharp minor at 153 BPM. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a 6-7-1-7 chord progression. So I'm gonna show you how to do this. So first, if you're using FL Studio, you can click here, view, scale highlighting, minor natural Aeolian, and choose your root note. Once you have the mode like this, so you have the scale highlighting, the root note is going to be called the first. So we got the first and the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth. So here we are, but it's a little bit too high, so let's just put it 1 octave down like this. When you place your chord, to do a chord, I'm going to show you, you're going to use the skip place method. So you're going to skip the first note that you see that is in the scale, then place, skip it and place, skip and place. So you can do this about, I don't know, 5 times, 4 times, or even 3 times. 3 times you're going to end up with the triad, 4 times you're going to end up with the 7th, and 5 times you're going to end up with the 9th. Because this is going to use too much mid frequencies, you're going to take this one and put it 1 octave up, and there you have a nice chord, a nice jazzy R&B chord. Then we're gonna go to the 7th. So the 7th is just 1 up in the scale, so this is the 7th, and we're in C sharp. Then you just want to build the chord, same method, skip place, and we end up with the 7th. So this chord has a lot of tension, as you can see. This is because this is a diminished chord, if I'm not wrong. And the problem with those diminished chords is that they sound really R&B-ish, really, they have a lot of tension. You see what I mean? So what you want to do is, instead of just building like the chord like this and do the skip place method, you want to experiment a bit, 1 on the scale up, 1 on the scale down, try something until it sounds good. What I did is I placed it on C sharp so that it goes well with the bass note, and then just want to take the middle note again and place it 1 octave up. Then we're going to go to the first. So the first is D sharp, and we're going to do a triad. So skip place 2 times like this. And what you want to do now is experiment a bit. So what I did, instead of placing the 7th, I placed it here just to experiment a bit and make the chord a little bit more jazzy, a little bit more R&B-ish. And then take this one, put it here. Also, as I told you, the same method as I used here, this note revolves well with the bass note, and this note revolves well with the bass note again. And then I also placed a G sharp here. That's just for R&B-ish chord, man. There's no theory behind it. Just experiment with things. And then just want to take all your chords, Alt S, to strumize them. Also use alternate direction so that, you know, they're not strumized the same way. So like this. Then you want to play with the strength knob. You can also play with this knob sometimes, and the velocity knob, but we're not going to play with them. And for the velocity, you want to Alt R to randomize it a bit. And lastly, you just want to take that chord, copy it here, and then add 1 last chord. So actually, my bad, this is on 4 bar. I'm going to place it on 9. So take this like this, put it here, Control Q. Then for the last part, instead of just following up like this, which is good, but it sounds too basic, we want to experiment a bit. So I think if you've seen my tutorials, I do this a lot. Instead of placing another chord here, we're gonna place a chord there like this, so that it creates a bit of rhythm, you know, it surprised the listener, and this sounds good. So to create this one, we can just go 1 in the scale up. So use C sharp again, but C sharp we already used it. So instead, let's go 1 under, and let's use A sharp. And let's do the same method. So skip place with a triad, and let's just take that one, put it up there. Then for the top melody, man, I just used my MIDI piano. So if you don't have a MIDI piano, just get one, because really it's a good way for you to first work much more faster, and second, find really nice counter melody, really nice overall melody, leads and things. So this is really good if you have a MIDI piano. If you don't have one, you can also click there and you're going to be able to use your keyboard as a piano. Learn the A minor scale, which is just all the white notes. So you already have one scale that you know, which is the A minor scale. And for a major scale, you can also use C major, which is again all the white notes. And then you can just transpose one semitone up, semitones down, and change the scale that you're using. This is a really good method. I used it for a long time. Then it's just test this chord and experiment to create some rhythm. What we're gonna do is do a strumize method I love to use. Let's just place all the notes. So we're gonna do a D sharp chord here, but one octave up like this. And then to do the method that I heard a lot in sexy drill type beats, especially for NEMZZZ, you want Alt S again and play a lot more with the strength like this, and place it every 2 bars. So this is 1 bar here, this is 1 bar again, this is another bar, and this is another bar.
No.
So what you want to do is place it every 2 bar. So if we have 2 bar here, let's just take this one and place it here. Then we'll have 2 bar. And let's just place it 1 octave up like this. And we can do it 1 time again like this, as you can see. And lastly, for the top notes, man, as I told you, you want to use a MIDI piano. And if you don't have one, you can just play with all the white notes you see, man. There's no real theory behind it. A thing you can do is the staircase. So you can see going down to 1 note and then going up the scale to end up on another note. This is a really good method. I used it twice. So once here, going from C sharp to A sharp, and there going from G sharp to A sharp. This is a really great method. And the last tip I can give you is to use flares. So flares is when you're going to use a note, instead of just using the note, place 1 note under in the scale, and make sure that it plays a tiny section just before the note that you want to play, so that it creates a bit of rhythm. It creates a R&B effect that you hear a lot. So yeah, this is just a great method, and this is how it sounds like. For the bass, we're going to use Analogy and use the finger E bass 1 preset. For this one, there's no really magic to it. You just want to copy the chord progression and sometimes use some transition notes going down or going up staircase again. As you can see, staircase method, man. And yeah, there's no magic behind it. Now we're gonna pull Omnisphere again. We're gonna use the pillowy pad piano, one of the greatest R&B piano that you can find. And what you want to do is just disable this A oscillator right there. You just want to click on this button until you see it dark like this. Kinda sounds like a dream, I don't know why, but it sounds good, man. Then we're gonna pull up GV 1080. We're gonna use the bell, and inside of the bell, we're gonna use the Fantasia GV. And for this one, man, we're just gonna use some flares, as you can see, and play some really nice and easy, simple lead. There's no magic behind it. For the main keys, what you want to do is build down the lows as always, build down the mids also, as you can see, 2 there to build down really those mid frequencies here. Low mids are always good to build down because they're going to clash with the bass, they're going to clash with the 808, they're also going to clash your mix because it's going to sound too muddy, Then also want to build down the highs so they don't clash with the hi-hats, snare, etc. Also put it in stereo so it sounds good. For the bass, what you want to do is build down the lows as always, especially those really low frequencies, about 20 hertz. That's because that's where the main frequencies of the 808 are going to shine. So what you want to do is build down the bass so they don't clash with the 808. Also build down those frequencies too, also because it's going to clash with the 808, and this one because it's going to clash with the leads, it's gonna clash with other things. And the bass, sometimes you just want to lower some frequencies because they're gonna clash with everything, man. And as always, build down the highs, man. You don't need highs in the bass. For the pad, what you want to do is build down the lows, build down those frequencies that are gonna clash with the main keys, and build down the highs because we're gonna use the highs for the bells. For the bell, man, what you want to do is build down the lows as always, build down the highs also, and also add a bit of reverb to make it a little bit more dreamier, And for this one, pull up the decay to about 40%, mix as always about 30%, 40%, and the local always 400 400 or 500 hertz to remove all the low frequencies from that reverb. Then we're gonna pull up Xenology again and use the Lost Strings preset. And for this one, we're just gonna use the middle notes of the chords. So as you can see, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, G sharp again. And therefore that one is C sharp. For the strings, you want to load the lows and lower the highs, and also want to put it in stereo so you can shine through the mix. Lastly, we're about to pull up my favorite plugin, Ample Metal Hair Razor, one of the greatest lead guitar. And again, for the leads, what you want to do is use some flares, staircase. For this one, you want to pull up Guitar Rig 7 and you want to use the analog answers preset and just want to disable the analog sequencer and also play with the mix of the reverb and also play with the compression there so it doesn't sound too harsh. Lastly, you want to put it in full stereo separation, and then we're going to use one last bell. This one's going to create much more rhythm. As you can see, it's going to play sometimes on the grid and sometimes it's going to play in those counter rhythm there. Staircase there, boom, counter rhythm. And for this one, you want to experiment. A good tip is to follow the notes of the chords. That's an easy way to always get your leads to sound good. Use flares, staircase, and counter rhythm. This is how it sounds like. For the bass, you want to lower the lows since we're using the high frequencies, and you want to lower the frequencies that can clash with the hi-hat. Then we're going to use the summer drum kit and we're going to pull up this vocal. This is how it sounds like. For the vocal, you want to put it in stereo about 20%. Then we're going to pull up a Pro Q and use the Lo-Fi Bandpass Radio preset. Then we're going to pull up Fruity Delay. Play with the pan, always put it to about 100%. Ping pong mode, they can play one left, one right, as you can see. And then we're going to put the time to about 8, so this one. Lastly, to make it a little bit more dreamier, you're going to use Vintage Verb. I'm going to pull the decay to 1 second. The mix to 40, as I told you. Loca, always 500. Oh, there is 600. Then we're going to pull up a lot of different things, accents, phrases, effects that you can find inside of the description on my website. You can also find some on Splice, find also some on Tracklib, and yeah, this is how they all sound together. For the drums, we're going to use this hi-hat that you can find inside of my Harmony multi-kit. And for the pattern, it's a really basic sexy drill pattern. So what you want to do is place your first note on the first step like this. Then you're going to place another note on the fourth step. So step, this is the first, second, third, fourth, boom, fourth. And then you're going to go on the second bar, so this one, and you're going to place it on the third. So as you can see, a really great thing to remember is to skip two step, then one step, two step, one step. And then you're just going to copy this and put it here. So you can see two step, one step, two step, and then one step again. But this is a really basic drill pattern, and to make it more sexier, what you want to do is remove those two notes there, this, copy the whole bar like this, boom, and then for the other one, you just want to place some notes here. For example, let's just place one note here and there, and let's just experiment now with the rhythm, add some rolls, add some things if you want to make it more sexier, make it more fancy. This is how it sounds like. Then we're going to use a snap from our Harmony multi-kit again, and for this one you want to place a really basic drill pattern. So on the third step, then on the fourth step, and you copy and paste. All the drums that I'm going to be using are all inside of my Harmony multi-kit, so I don't need to repeat myself. And for this perk, we're going to use it on the third step, as you can see, repeating itself really simply. Then we're going to use another snare to use it as a perk. As you can see, it sounds weird, but with everything, man, it sounds so good. Then we're going to use a cowbell. For this one, we're going to play it at the end of the 4 bar. Usually that's where you want to place your really harsh perk or the perk that you love the most. If you want to make it shine, you just want to use it on the last part of the 4 bar or on the 8 bar. I'm going to pull up a chant now. This one is a little bit more common. We're gonna use it in the second step. Always gotta add that triangle. And as you can see, we're gonna play with the velocity to create a delay effect. Then we're gonna use the open hat. And this one's gonna play on the first, on the fourth, then on the third. Then it's gonna do the same thing with the hi-hat, but it's just gonna be much more wider. As you can see, it's gonna be with much more space, just to create some counter rhythm. So basically the notes are going to be a little bit more longer. Then we gotta add that spins 808, man. And that one is basically following the chord progression. And for the rhythm, this is the sexy drill rhythm. Basically, you're gonna use this whole pattern here. As you can see, you're just gonna follow it up like this. So you gotta fill up the first bar. So if this is the first bar, you're just gonna fill it up like this. Then you're gonna cut into the counter rhythm. What I call the counter rhythm is basically the fourth step. You want to cut it so that there's nothing, and this is where you want to place the overnote. So boom, take it, copy it like this, and there you go, your notes. And lastly, you just want to copy this one again, and boom, you got your whole ass pattern, man. Just want to cut it here. Then we're going to use a clave. For that one, you want to play with the velocities, as you can see, and also play with the pan. Put it one left, one right, one left, one right, as you can see. And lastly, you gotta always put up those voxes, man. You can find them inside of my RnB multi-kit too. Make sure that they don't clash with each other, so they don't play at the same time. You want to put one vox, then one vox, then one vox, and this is how it sounds like.
What? What?
So I hope that this tutorial was useful. As always, guys, don't forget that you can copy all my kits for free inside of the description. Just go to the description, find my website, and get some free kits, bro. They all sound super fire, and they all have some really great drums, really great melodies that you can use, drag and drop, boom, easy one. As always, don't forget that Jesus loves you guys, and have a great one. Love y'all. Peace out.